In the next 20 years, the most important change I would like to see in America is diminishing the problem of homelessness. Since 2017, the homeless population has gone up by 6%. There's an estimated of 65 million people in our country who have experienced homelessness in their lifetime. That's about 14% of the population. 14% is quite a lot. If all of the students in my school represent the US population, then that means around 560 of them will experience homelessness sometime in their lifetimes.
Projection out.
Just get them off of drugs. Fund the counties with the mental health programs that they need and the clinicians.
And then drive down the cost of housing in California are the three things that would need to happen to take care of homelessness.
The solution to homelessness is affordable housing. If we did not have zoning laws that made it illegal to build affordable housing, we would have more affordable housing and less homelessness.
Nationally, there's an estimated of 582,000 homelessness in our country. So, why is homelessness such a problem? Housing is one of the major issues in the US. Since 2010, the average home price has risen by 74%, but the average wage has only risen by 54%.
The reason we have homelessness in the numbers we do is because there isn't enough affordable housing available. There are other factors that contribute to homelessness, but at the end of the day, that's probably the biggest reason that we have homelessness.
Fortunately, we are helping by providing the homeless with places to stay. Shelters are common among cities to aid with people who don't have a bed to sleep on.
How that's traditionally been done is it's sort of like, you take like a big gymnasium and you fill it with beds and you say, okay, you can stay here. Part of the problem with shelters is they're not always very secure, so there's not like great safety. Sometimes they get, they could get assaulted or have their things stolen from them, either by other people staying there or sometimes even by the staff who work there. So that's been historically a problem.
We need to give the homeless more privacy and security in their shelters. It would prove if we did not see them on the street anymore, because it shows that they can trust their shelters and that it would be a better option.
Work we are doing to build an America where we invest in the economic potential of communities that have long been burdened by structural racism and underinvestment. That work begins with expanding access to home ownership and opportunity.
Another factor that explains why there's so many homelesses in the US can be seen in the demographics of the homeless population, which are disproportionate to the US population.
There tends to be an overrepresentation of, most notably, Black or African Americans. If you're in Los Angeles, in the general population, there's probably only 8 or 9% of people who are Black or African American, but in the homeless population, over 30% of them are African American.
There is systematic racism in our society, and it leads to more minorities being homeless than there should be. People of minorities have a harder time finding a place just because of the race. African Americans are 1.8 to 2.5 times more likely to be denied a mortgage loan than white applicants. And Latinos are 1.5 times more likely to be denied as well. Some people may say that the homeless are lazy and they're unemployed and they don't want to work. However, that's not the case a lot of the time.
You'll see someone who's symptomatic of having a mental illness and maybe talking to himself on a street corner. And that's what you think of as homeless, but what you don't see is the family who's living in their car, who's been homeless and going to work every day.
This is an example of how hidden homelessness can really be. Even with all of this, some places are harder to recover in than others. An example could be found in cities, where homelessness is a common problem.
There tend to be more extremes in terms of like income and wealth disparity. And so in cities, you have, the prices of homes and rents that keep going up and up and up. And so in cities, unfortunately, because you have these extremes and these disparities, it means that there's more and more people that are getting priced out of, what is really kind of the basic need.
This shows how difficult it is to live in dense cities. That's why cities like Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York City constantly battle homelessness. To conclude, I feel the most important ways to get rid of homelessness in the US is to make housing more affordable, to create safer and secure shelters in the US, and to get rid of the hidden racism that taints our society.
Even if they are not an imminent threat to the public. It is not acceptable for us to see someone who clearly needs help and walk past.